Hello friends, students. Welcome to lecture number 10 of the Indian Contract Act in the CA Foundation CLAT lecture series sponsored by Shrijendra Rank Zone. I am your mentor Shekhar Gehlot. So in this lecture we are going to discuss about the mistake. Okay, how mistake is also a crucial factor. If the contract is marred by mistake, if there is a mistake in entering into the contract, whether consent to the contract of parties is vitiated by mistake, okay, in that case the whole contract will become void because mistake cannot be avoided at all. Mistake, if it is fundamental in nature, it cannot be avoided. Now, mistake can be of different types. Let us see what are the mistakes and types of mistakes. Mistake can be a mistake of law, okay, which is further divided into mistake of Indian law and mistake of foreign law. Another is mistake of fact. Mistake is of two types, mistake of law and mistake of fact. Now, mistake of fact has further categories, that is a bilateral mistake and a unilateral mistake. Bilateral is happening on both the ends. Unilateral is only one party is responsible for that particular mistake. Mistake has to subject matter, okay, mistake as to subject matter like quality, existence, identity, title, price and quantity. These are bilateral mistakes as to subject matter. And then bilateral mistake has another wing, that is called mistake as to possibility of performance. Now, mistake as to possibility of performance is further divided into legal mistake as well as physical mistake. Unilateral mistake, on other hand, is further divided in identity of the person, character of the written document. So these are the kinds of mistake which may occur in a contract. Now let us understand what a mistake is. Mistake is in a simple parallels in the common literary meaning. Mistake means an innocent or erroneous belief which leads to the party to misunderstand something, that I genuinely believed something but I did not know that it is wrong. Okay, it is a kind of misrepresentation, it is a branch of misrepresentation, but it is somehow dealt differently in the law. Okay, so mistake may be defined as an innocent or erroneous belief which leads to the party to misunderstand the others. Mistake may be either bilateral or unilateral mistake. Bilateral mistake is when both the parties to a contract are under a mistake. Unilateral mistake is when only one party to the contract is under mistake, like we discussed. Now, what is the effect of mistake on the validity of contract? Mistake is some unintentional act. Okay, it is an unintentional act, omission, or error arising from unconsciousness, ignorance, or forgetfulness. Okay, we are somehow, sometimes we are unconscious of something, we are ignorant of something, or we have forgotten something. Imposition or misplaced confidence. We have a confidence which is misplaced. Okay, it may be of two kinds, mistake of law as well as mistake of fact. Okay, it is essential for the creation of a contract that both the parties should agree to the same thing. Like we earlier discussed in the earlier classes, that contract agreement is always based on the dictum, a Latin dictum which says consensus ad idem. Okay, consensus ad idem. Consensus ad idem means consensus ad idem means agreeing similar thing in similar sense. Okay, that when two parties agree to enter into a contract, they have same thing in the mind and with the same sense. Like when I discuss about sugar cane, okay, I and the other party we are discussing sugar cane, then we both have sugar cane as sugar cane only. I'm not talking about sugarcane juice or sugarcane jaggery or sugarcane in melted form or boiled form or any other form. Okay, we are discussing about sugarcane in the physical form, which is standing as a crop in a field. Okay, and in the similar sense. Okay, we are talking about a sugar cane which is standing on the crop. It is not a sugar cane which is just like 1 month old or 2 month old. No, we are agreeing on the same thing in a similar sense. This is called consensus ad item. Thus, if two persons enter into a contract, each of them is thinking about a different subject matter. No contract will arise. Okay. Now I'm talking about sugar. When I'm talking about sugar, I'm talking about raw sugar. I am thinking raw sugar in my mind. Raw sugar is a brown color. You must have seen it. But when some other party, the other party is thinking of sugar, which is the processed sugar, which is usually known as white sugar, crystallized sugar. Okay, so he is talking about crystallized sugar. I am talking about brown sugar. So there cannot be any contract at all because we both are mistaken. We both cannot agree on the same thing in a similar manner. As a result, a mistake may lead to a contract towards voidness because the contract which is entered by the mistake of subject matter will invariably always be a void contract. Its effect can be broadly studied as under. Okay, now we'll discuss what are the mistakes of law and mistakes of fact. Mistake of law. A mistake of law does not render a contract void, as one cannot take excuse of ignorance of law in his own country. But if the mistake of law is caused through the inducement of another, the contract may be avoided. Mistake of foreign law is excusable and is treated like a mistake of fact. Contract may be avoided on such mistake. So now we have different kinds of mistake of law. Mistake of law. And now nowadays government has passed farm bills. Okay, in the farm bills, one amendment is amendment in the Essential Commodities Act. Okay, as per the amendment in the Essential Commodities Act, now people are allowed to have a stock of pulses. People are now allowed to have a stock of pulses, but still they are not allowed stock of sugar beyond the prescribed quantities. Sugar still continues to be an essential commodity and the stocking of it is still not allowed. Okay, so now there's a mistake of law. I believe that as per the new amendment, we can stock the sugar as well. So I enter into contract with someone that you sell me this much quantity of sugar and I'll stock the sugar. Okay, I enter Ram enters into contract with Sham for sale of for purchase of 100 tons of sugar. Now the permissible quantity for someone to store at present, say it is as per law, I can store only 50 tons. 50 tons of sugar. But I do not know. I am mistaken. I believe that now the law allows the stocking of sugar as well, so I can stock 100 tons of sugar as well. But after the entering into the contract, I come to know that only 50 tons is allowed. Now in this case, contract is not voidable because it is presumed that all people living in India are aware about the Indian law. We cannot plead ignorance of Indian law. Okay, any Indian living on the Indian soil is presumed to have a full-fledged knowledge, at least not full-fledged knowledge, but at least a common general knowledge of the law, and that too the law applicable to the category he is involved in. I am a sugar merchant, I must know the laws relating to sugar. So I have now ordered 100 tons of sugar. Now I cannot say to that person that I'll purchase only 50 tons sugar because I was under the mistake of law. He'll sell me 100 tons only and I'll have to take 100 tons, 50 tons I'll have to sell in the market and 50 tons I can store. Whatever loss I'll suffer due to this is upon me only, other party is not responsible for that. Now let's take situation 2. In this, Shyam makes me believe that now 100 tons of sugar could be stored. Now Shyam is under a mistake. Shyam is not having the proper knowledge of law. He has a mistake of law. Okay, now he is willing to sell me 100 tons of sugar. But before the transportation of sugar, somehow I come to know that only 50 tons of sugar is allowed to be stocked by one particular purchaser or one particular stocker. So now I tell Shyam, because you only told me that it is 100 tons and actually it is 50 tons, so I will purchase only 50 tons. In this case, because I am induced, okay, I am told this thing by the Shyam, so I'll purchase only 50 tons and rest 50 tons Shyam will have to suffer the loss. He cannot compel me to buy other 50 tons because it is on his inducement that I did so. Okay, now let us take another example, situation 3. Ram is an Indian. Okay, Shyam is in Africa. So Shyam contracts with Ram. Shyam says, send me 100 tons of sugar. Ram agrees. Okay, now what Ram has done, Ram agreed to send 100 tons of sugar to the Shyam. Now Ram dispatches those 100 tons of sugar to a port. Because it is 100 tons, definitely it will go through the ship only. So I have shipped the material, shipped the 100 ton sugar now on the port at South Africa. The custom authorities have confiscated the 50 ton sugar. Because as per South African laws, only 50 tons of sugar could be imported by one seller or one purchaser. So Shyam, because he is in South Africa, so now he is subscribed to the South African law, and as per the South African law, only 50 tons of sugar is allowed to be imported by Shyam, but Shyam has somehow imported 100 tons and I have dispatched 100 tons. Now 50 tons are lying waste in the customs go down and 50 tons has been consumed by the Shyam. Now Shyam tries to deflect the payment. He says that I will not pay for the 50 tons because I actually received 50 tons only. Why would I pay for the 100 tons? Here Shyam is liable because I am foreigner to South Africa. I am in India. I am not presumed. There is no presumption that I should know the South African law. Why should I know the South African law? It is Shyam who should have known the South African law and he should have ordered only 50 tons. But because I have sent 100 tons, 50 tons may have gone to the waste. It's hardly material for me. Now Shyam will have to pay 100 tons. Okay, Shyam will have to pay 100 tons. In this case, I can excuse because I am presumed to know what is the quantity, what is the law relating to the Shyam's country. Okay, so this is the position regarding mistake of law. Mistake of law per se, at the face of it, is not excusable. So any mistake which is happening due to ignorance of the law will not render the contract avoidable. But in situation 1, if you are induced by the other person to believe that the law has changed and then you act per his assurance, then you can avoid the contract. Only that part of the contract which is separable, which is not allowed. And similarly, if there is a foreign law and you plead ignorance that I was not aware of the foreign law, then also that mistake is excusable, that mistake is avoidable. You can avoid the contract. Okay, you are not bound to follow that. Then we go to another category, that is mistake of fact. Where the what is fact? Fact is existence of something. Okay, fact is existence or non-existence of something or happening or non-happening of an event. Okay, like we have a pandemic right now in the country. It's a fact that the whole world is going through coronavirus, but some countries are not going through coronavirus. Okay, so it's a fact that New Zealand is free from coronavirus, but India and USA, South Africa, Brazil, UK, so many other countries are not free from coronavirus. Rather, they are very much in the wave of coronavirus. So that is a fact. Okay, Moon is a satellite. Moon is a natural satellite to the Earth. That is a fact. Sun is so many kilometers away from the Earth. That is a fact. Okay, sugar is essential commodity. These things are fact. So when there is a mistake, sometimes there may be a mistake of fact. When there is a mistake of fact, then the contract becomes void. Then the agreement is void. Now let us see what it says. Where the contracting parties misunderstood each other and are at cross purpose. Okay, there is a bilateral or mutual mistake where both the parties to an agreement are under a mistake as to matter of fact. Essential to the agreement is void. A offers to sell his ambassador card to B. Okay, now A says to B that I will sell my ambassador card to you. Who believes? Now B believes that A has only fiat car. A has only fiat car, agrees to buy the car. Okay. Now A did not mention the ambassador car. A has two cars, one is ambassador, other is fiat. A says, I wish to sell my car to you without mentioning the model or make number of the car. B believes that A has only fiat car. B understood that he is trying to sell the fiat to me. Okay. So now agreement is okay, done. But now ultimately when it comes to the transfer of the car, it comes out that both the parties were on the mutual mistake of the fact. Okay, one understood car to be ambassador, other understood car to be a fiat car. In this case, we can say that to the subject matter there was no real consent of the parties, but parties agreed on different things, and their consent was B never consented to buy ambassador, A never consented to sell fiat. So now this agreement is void because there is no real consent at all. Legality of object and consideration. Okay, now let us further understand. Now we know mistake of law and what is the mistake of Indian law and what is the mistake of foreign law. Now let us again go back to mistake of fact, bilateral as well as unilateral. So now what happens in the mistake as to the subject matter? Okay, mistake as to the subject matter. Mistake as to subject matter. We have just discussed the example of the ambassador car versus the fiat car. That is a mistake as to subject matter. Okay, it may be of quality. We are discussing about Ram says I'll sell A grade rice. Ram says I'll say A grade rice. Okay, Ram is in Bihar. In Bihar, A grade rice may be a basmati rice. Okay, but the purchaser is in Haryana. Okay, Sham, who is in Haryana, he believes that A grade rice is golden rice. Okay, so now in this case there is definitely a mistake as to the quality of the subject matter. Subject matter is rice. He says A grade rice. A grade rice, there is basmati rice. Sham says A grade rice. He feels that in the Haryana the A grade rice is the golden rice. So agreement is void or existence. Ram says I'll sell my horse to Sham. Sham agrees. But meanwhile, horse has died. But meanwhile, during the argument, horse has died. Neither Sham is aware that horse has died, neither Ram is aware that horse has died. Therefore, there is going to be the mistake of fact regarding the existence of something. So now horse does not exist at all. That is a fact that horse does not exist at all. That is a bilateral mistake. So agreement is void. Identity. Identity. Okay. Ram says. Ram in Tamil Nadu says, I'll sell dhoti to Shyam. I'll sell 100 dhoti to Shyam in Haryana. Now, Tamil Nadu has a traditional wear that is dhoti, but that is a different style of dhoti which is being worn in Tamil Nadu. In Haryana, people wear dhoti, but they wear it in a completely different style. Haryana's people may not appreciate the Tamil people style of dhoti. Tamil people may not appreciate the Haryanvi people style of dhoti, or they may appreciate, but they may want to retain their own traditions. They may want to wear their own dhotis. Now, Tamil Nadu guy Ram sends 100 dhotis to Sham. Sham does not know that Tamil Nadu has different style of dhoti. Ram does not know that Haryana has a different style of dhoti. Now, there is a mistake as to the identity of the subject matter. What is the identity of the subject matter? Which dhoti are you talking about? Title. Ram says, I'll sell you 100 copies of book written by A. Sham agrees. Okay, but meanwhile, when this contract is being ordered, being entered, A has meanwhile taken back. A is the author of the book. He has taken back the license to sell from Ram. He has taken license to sell from Ram back, and Ram is not aware about it. So Ram does not have any title now. Ram does not have any title. He is not having any entitlement to sell those books. So there is a mistake of title, mistake of price may be there. Okay. Ram agreed to sell one canal of land to Sham for 1 crore. Now what happens? Okay, Sham agreed in Chandigarh. Okay, but now what came out that his one canal is situated in some other part of Chandigarh, but Sham wanted this one canal in some other part of Chandigarh. Okay, and in some other part, this one canal will cost 5 crores. So there is a mistake as to the price. So it's a mistake of fact, it's a mistake of identity as well as a mistake of price. Okay, it's a mistake of quality, it's a mistake of all things complied joined together. So contract is a void contract. Mistake of quantity as well may be there. Okay, mistake of quantity may be there. Similarly, mistake as to the possibility of performance. Mistake as to performance. Mistake as to performance of the contract. Now, this can be legal. Okay, legal. Now, in this COVID-19 situation, okay, so many things have become essential commodities right now, and a supplier or a seller or a grocery owner is not allowed to stock dal. Okay, he's not allowed to stock dal. Or suppose, let us say, he's not allowed to export rice. In this pandemic, because country needs excessive amount of food because people are in their house and they are consuming a lot of food, so government has made a decision that we are not allowed to export rice out of the country. Now Ram enters into contract with Sham. that Ram will export 100 tons of rice to Sham in Africa. Okay, and they agreed. After entering of this contract, okay, not during the entering of this contract, after say 10 20 days after entering of this contract, when this contract was yet to be performed, government of India banned the export of rice. Now, no party is at fault, okay, because this law came later on. Now, Ram cannot export the rice to Sham, and why he cannot export the rice to Sham? Because it is now legally impossible. He cannot do it. If he has to do it, he has to do it illegally, but legally he cannot do so. So now this agreement becomes void. There may be a physical disability, okay. Okay, Ram has a football team. He enters into contract with Ronaldo, who's a world-renowned player for the football. Okay, striker. He enters into contract with the Ronaldo that he will play for my team in the coming season of football. Ronaldo agrees. Okay, but before the tournament, Ronaldo undergoes some injury. There is some fracture in the leg. Okay, so now it is impossible for Ronaldo to play. Okay, therefore impossible, physically impossible. It is physically impossible for Ronaldo to play. Now there is a physical disability. Contract becomes void. Okay, fault of no one. That is a mutual mistake of facts. Unilateral mistake of fact is identity of a person. Okay, unilateral is identity of person. Like we discussed in the previous example, I want Dhoni to play, but Dhoni is no longer playing, and instead there is another player named Manoj Dhoni. So Manoj Dhoni is being sent to my team. I say no, I wanted Mahendra Singh Dhoni. BCCI says there is only one Dhoni, and that is Manoj Dhoni right now, and you wanted Dhoni. So we have accepted your contract, and now you must play with this Dhoni only. Now I cannot avoid the contract because it's a unilateral contract. I must play with Dhoni. Unilateral contract, if mistake is there, then it cannot be avoided. Okay, it has to be followed unless this mistake is induced by the other party. Okay, character of a written document. Character of a written document. Suppose a gift. A gift is to be compulsorily registrable. Okay, but when I made a gift to my son who's minor, okay, I forgot to get it registered. Now the agreement is voidable by the minor. If he wishes to get the now the agreement is void, not voidable. Agreement is void. Okay, because it's a gift. If it cannot be completed, nobody can compel you to make the gift. Now, father wants to make gift to the son. Somehow he could not make the gift to the son because there was a mistake about the character of written document. Okay, he could not get it registered. So now there is no registration. That means no complete gift. Now he changed his mind. He says, "I'll not get the registration. I'll not make the gift." Son says, "No, you have to make the gift now. Get it registered." No one can compel you to make a gift. Okay, so in this case, it is going to be avoid. Otherwise, it depends upon the situation to situation basis. But in most cases, it will be voidable only at the option of other party and not on the option of the party who has initiated the document. legality of the object and consideration. Now we jump on to the another section which talks about legality of the object and consideration. Which considerations and objects are lawful and those which are not. Okay. Mistake section is complete. Now we go to another aspect of the contract law that deals with another essential, that is the legality of the object and consideration. The consideration and the object both have to be legal. If the object is illegal and consideration is legal, then the agreement is void. If the consideration is illegal but the object is legal, then the contract is void. Okay, now let us see which considerations and objects are lawful and those which are not. This is provided by Section 23 of the Indian Contract Act. The consideration or object of an agreement is lawful. We are deeming everything to be lawful. Law is presuming that your object and lawful, your object in consideration is going to be lawful unless your object or the consideration falls in any of the category. What are these category? First is it is forbidden by the law. Okay, law has banned that particular thing. Okay, law says you cannot have this object or you cannot have this consideration. Okay, or is of such a nature it is of such a nature that if permitted it would defeat the provisions of any law. Okay, or it is of such nature that if it is allowed it will defeat the provision of any law, or is fraudulent, or involves injury to another person or property of another. Okay, it involves injury to the person or property of another, or the court regards it as immoral. Okay, it does not fit in these categories, but now court finds it immoral. Your consideration or your object or both of these, or it is opposed to public policy. It is opposed to public policy. In each of these cases, the consideration or object of an agreement is said to be unlawful. Every agreement of which the object or consideration is unlawful is said to be void. There is no voidability here because you cannot make something legal which is otherwise illegal. You cannot ratify it. Other party cannot say it's okay, I accept it. If it is illegal or if it's unlawful, it is void, completely void, non-existent. That's it, complete. No performance required at all. In the following examples, the agreement is void because the object is unlawful. Okay, we are discussing some examples now. A, A, B, and C enter into an agreement for the division among them of gains acquired or to be acquired by them by fraud. This agreement is void as its object, acquisition of gains by fraud, is unlawful. You cannot acquire gains by fraud, that is impermissible under the Indian scheme of law. So anything to the which comes to the unlawful acquisition of gains by fraud is always illegal. A promises to B to abandon a prosecution which he had initiated against B for robbery, and B promises in lieu thereof to restore the value of the property robbed. The agreement is void as its object, namely the stifling of prosecution, is unlawful. Now A says A has committed a robbery at B. Okay, now B has made a complaint to the police. Police is investigating the case. Meanwhile, A approaches B and say, it's okay, I've committed a robbery of 10 lakhs rupees, I'll give you 12, 15 lakhs rupees. You do one thing, you drop the proceedings against me. That is not allowed. Even if he pays 100 crore rupees, then also proceedings cannot be dropped because A has committed a crime, and when someone commits a crime, he must pay for it irrespective whether he has restored the property or not. Section 10 of the Indian Contract Act provides for the legality of consideration and objects thereto. Section 23 of the Act also states that every agreement of which the object of consideration is unlawful is void. The following is an example of the agreement which is void because of the unlawful consideration. Now we discuss the agreements which are unlawful because of their illegal object. Now we discuss the contracts which are unlawful because of their illegal consideration. A promises to obtain for B an employment in the public services, and B promises in return to pay 1 lakh rupees to A. Now A and B enter into an agreement, and A has some connections with the government. He says, I'll get you a government job, and B says, okay, I'll pay you 1 lakh rupees. This agreement is void because this is corruption. This consideration is also void. The object is also void, the consideration is also illegal here. The agreement is void as the consideration therefore is unlawful. Okay. Now what is the consideration here? On the part of A, on the part of B he'll pay 1 lakh rupees. That is okay. But on the part of A, what is the consideration? Consideration is that to commit corruption, he cannot give such unlawful consideration. The agreement is void as the consideration therefore is unlawful. Here, A's promise to procure for B an employment in the public services is the consideration for B's promise to pay 1 lakh. The consideration being opposed to public policy is unlawful. Acts forbidden by law are those which are punishable under any statute as well as those prohibited by regulations or orders made in the exercise of the authority conferred by the legislature. Example is a license to cut grass is given to X by the Forest Department under the Forest Act. One of the terms of the license is that the licensee should not assign his interest under the license without the permission of the forest officer, and a fine is prescribed for the breach of this condition. But the observance of the condition of the license is not obligatory under the Forest Act. If A is in breach of condition, agrees to assign his interest under the license to B, that agreement will be valid. Here the assignment is not prohibited by the law. The condition against assignment has been imposed only by the administrative purposes or solely by the protection of revenue. Okay. In this case, see, there was an agreement between A and X. X is the forest department. They say, okay, A, you have a license, you cut the grass, but you do not give this license to anyone else. Okay, you do not, else we will put a fine on you. But what A does, A gives this license to B. Okay, so what is this? This is basically a breach of contract. Giving your license to someone else is not a criminal activity, or is not prohibited by any law or the forest law. Law does not say anything like this. Okay, it is only that department says you cannot do that, and he has a contract with the department. So what he has committed is the breach of the contract. There is no illegality; it's a breach only. Okay, so the agreement will be valid. Or when the constitution or the object defeats the provision of law. Okay, if you defeat the provision of any law, then your constitution or the object is illegal. Okay, and thereby the agreement is also illegal. Okay, these are the examples. When it is fraudulent, when your object or consideration is fraudulent. Okay, agreements which are entered into to promote fraud are void. For example, an agreement for the sale of goods for purpose of smuggling them out of the country is void, and the price for goods so sold cannot be recovered. Okay, so your intention is fraudulent. You are going to defeat the provision of law. Ultimately, these are all same segment. It is these are all overlapping each other. Okay, when you defeat the object of the provision of law. Okay, company law says one man company, one person company cannot set up another one person company, but somehow he defeats the provision of law and tries to set up another one person company, which is not allowed. That will be illegal. When constitution defeats any rule for the time being in force in India, again committing some illegality. When constitution involves injury to the personal property of another, this is again commission of the crime. Okay, an agreement to print a book in violation of another's copyright is void. Okay, Ram has a copyright over a book. Shyam says, okay, I'll publish it illegally without his consent. That is a void. Okay, because he is causing injury to the property of another. It is also void. A promise to repay his debt by doing manual labor daily for a special period and agrees to pay interest at an exorbitant rate in case of default. Here is promise to repay by manual labor is a consideration for the loan, and this consideration is illegal as it imposes in substance amounts to slavery on part of A. Okay, so now he is doing manual labor daily. Okay, so he is kind of becoming a slave for A. So even if he wants to become a slave for A and B has no issues in having A as a slave, but slavery is illegal. So this consideration is illegal as well as the object is illegal. Okay. When consideration is immoral, which shocks your consciousness, which is against the moral standards of the society. We have a moral standards and the consideration or the object is against the moral standards of the society. The following are the examples of agreements where the object or consideration is unlawful, being immoral. A landlord cannot recover the rent of the house knowingly let to prostitute who carries on her vocation there. Here the object being immoral, the agreement to pay rent is void. Okay, because prostitution is immoral and he has given it on the rent to the prostitution. Now he cannot recover the rent. If she does not pay the rent, he cannot recover the rent because the contract is void. Where B had advanced money to D, a married woman, to enable her to obtain a divorce from her husband, and D had agreed to marry him as soon as she could obtain the divorce. It was held that P was not entitled to recover the amount, since the agreement had for its object the divorce of D from her husband, and promise of marriage given under these circumstances was against good moral. Okay, he was helping someone to take defense or divorce from the husband, and then I will, and on the pretext that I will help you only if you promise to marry me after your divorce. Now, this promise to marry me, you are compelling someone to marry you. This is immoral. You cannot compel someone to marry against his or her wish. Okay, so this is immoral. Though helping someone getting a divorce from husband if she is really aggrieved is not illegal at all. It is all legal. Lawyers do that. Legal system also helps someone. But you say that I will help you only if after my help you agree, you give me in writing that you will marry me. This is unenforceable. This cannot be enforced. You cannot compel someone to marry you. When the constitution is opposed to public policy. Okay, when the constitution is opposed to public policy. The expression public policy can be interpreted either in a wider or in a narrow sense. The freedom to contract may become illusory unless the scope of public policy is restricted. So we have to restrict the public policy, otherwise freedom to contract will be lost and everything and anything will become opposed to public policy. So we have to keep public policy in a very restricted manner so that people are allowed to carry on contracts and enter into the contracts. In the name of public policy, freedom of contract is restricted by law only for the good for the community. Okay, in law, public policy covers certain specified topics such as trading with an enemy alien. If you are trading with an enemy alien, okay, now India and Pakistan are at war and you are trading with someone who is situated in Pakistan, you are not allowed to trade with the enemy alien unless the country decides that they are not at war with the Pakistan. That is a public decision made for the public policy of India. Okay, so you cannot trade with the enemy. Stifling of prosecution. Okay, a prosecution is criminal case. Criminal case is going against someone. Now someone takes a contract, okay, enters into contract with the investigation officer or the judge or someone else for stifling the prosecution. That is against the public policy. Criminals must be punished. Shemperty and maintenance. Okay, these are legal terms. That means helping someone else in the illegal objects. Interference with the course of justice, you cannot interfere with the course of justice. Marriage brokerage, okay, or sales of public offices, etc. These are areas. Agreement tending to create interest against duty, agreements tending to create monopolies, agreements not to bid at auction are also opposed to public policy. Okay, so these are kind of some agreements where the contracts have been held to be void as they were against the public policy. These are the brief explanation. Trading with the public policy, trading with the enemy alien, enemy government is wrong. Stifling prosecution is also wrong. You cannot stifle the prosecution. Maintenance and Shemperty. Shemperty is an agreement in which a person agrees to assist another in litigation in exchange of a promise to hand over a portion of the proceeds of action. Shemperty and maintenance, you can simply understand that suppose someone is being hit by a car and now he is seeking compensation from the person who was driving the car, but he does not have the money. So I will say, I'll help you, I'll find a lawyer, but tomorrow if you get 1 crore rupees, whatever compensation you will get, you will pay me 50% of that compensation. This is not allowed by the law. Okay, law does not permit this. This is called Shemperty. You cannot take share in the proceed of whatever legal decision is there. Okay, you can decide your fees. A lawyer can decide the fees. Lawyer can say, I'll take 1 lakh, 10 lakh, 2 lakh, 1 crore, 2 crore, no issues. But if a lawyer enters into a contract with a client and says, I'll take 20% of the profit, that will be a wrong contract. Traffic relating to public offices, like you enter into corruption. Okay, so this corruption is going to be is a kind of traffic relating to public office where you seek employment in the public offices by paying different favors, by paying money. You take some money and appoint me a clerk, you take some money and appoint me in the police force, you take some money and appoint me a teacher. These kind of contracts are opposed to public policies. They are because you are trafficking in the public offices. Okay, public office, every Indian who is qualified enough is entitled to hold that public office, and whoever is meritorious as per the exam, as per the standard, will hold the public office. Okay, you cannot bypass other meritorious candidates by paying money. If this is allowed, then poor people, however meritorious they are, will never get a chance to occupy the public office, and a public office will become a hereditary office. Okay, so this is against the public policy of India. Like an agreement to pay money to a public servant in order to induce him to retire from his office so that another person may secure the appointment is void. You cannot pay money to someone to take retirement so that now the seat is vacant and someone else can sit over it. No. Or agreement to procure a public recognition like Padma Vibhushan for reward is void. You cannot pay money to the government agencies and say that you confer me with the Padma Shri, Padma Vibhushan, Bharat Ratna, or other kind of awards. That is going to be illegal. Agreements tending to create monopoly. You cannot enter into agreement with, like, suppose there are 3 4 sellers in the market of cars. All 3 4 sellers of the market in the cars cannot come and have an agreement that it's okay, only one seller will sell the car in this particular area. Thereby you are trying to create a monopoly. You cannot create a monopoly. A monopoly is always against the free market and the free competition in the society, and that is against the interest of the people as well as the interest of the business and innovation. Okay, so agreements standing to create monopoly are void. The consideration is void, the object is void. Marriage brokerage agreements. Okay, an agreement to negotiate marriage for reward. Okay, I'll get you a girl, okay, for marriage, then you will have to pay me 1 lakh rupees. No, you cannot do that. That is just another form of traffic in the people. You are just conducting the trade of people, you are buying, selling people, or taking commission for the sale and purchase of people. No, you cannot do that. You can refer. What marriage bureau does, they only provide information that there is a person who wants to marry and these are his requirements. You talk to him or her. If she is willing to, then you marry. We do not charge for marriage, but we charge only for providing information. If you are taking money for hiring, for finding a girl or boy, then that agreement is void. Okay, because it is beyond the public policy, it is against the public policy. Marriage should happen freely. You cannot buy a wife or you cannot buy a husband for money. That is not allowed. Interference with the course of justice. An agreement whose object is to induce any judicial officer of the state to act partially or corruptly is void. Okay, if you enter into any agreement with any judicial officer that he has to act in a different manner, okay, that is a, it's a kind of corruption. Okay, it is void. You cannot tell. Judge has to decide the cases freely as per his own conscience, as per the law of the country. If you are paying money for the judge to decide the case in one particular way, that means you are interfering with the administration of justice. That money and the object, the consideration as well as the object, both are going to be illegal, and this is opposed to the public policy of India. An arrangement by A to reward B, who is an intended witness in a suit. A, in consideration of B, is absenting himself from the trial. Now B is a witness in the case against A. Now A pays money to B and say, you do not appear as a witness, you do not identify me, you say something else. This is also illegal because it is against the administration of the justice. Okay, or you pay some money to the government. For same reasons, an agreement which contemplates the use of underhand means to influence legislation is void. You pay money to the government and say that you bring this particular law, that is void. Okay, like some industrial like Ambani, Adani, and Tata, they all come together and they go to the government and say, we'll pay you 1,000 crore rupees. You do one thing, you bring this particular law, change the law. That change in the law, change in the policy of the land will be, that agreement will be void because you cannot influence the lawmaking of the country. It will depend upon the situation of the country, not on the situation of two or three people who have money in their pockets. Interest against obligation. Okay, the following are examples of agreement that are void as they tend to create an interest against obligation. The object of such agreement is opposed to public policy. An agreement by an agent to receive without his principal's consent compensation from another for the performances agency is invalid. Okay, when you are working for something else. Okay, now I am A's agent, but I am working in B's favor. Okay, so that is illegal. X, he is a manager of firm, agrees to pass a contract to X if he pays A 2 lakh rupees privately. Okay, now I am the manager. Okay, and I have to pass some contract in favor of XYZ. Now X says I'll pay you 2 lakh rupees, you pass the contract in my favor. That is also against the public policy because it stifles the free and fair competition in the market. It is against the public interest. You cannot by the might of money run the society. This is the clear message which this Indian Contract Act is trying to send. Consideration which is unlawful in part. By virtue of section 24, if any part of single consideration for one or more objects, or any one or any part of any one of several considerations for single object is unlawful, the agreement is void. Okay, this section is an obvious consequence of the general principle of section 23. There is no promise for a lawful consideration if there is anything illegal in a consideration. It simply means that anything which is even a single part, okay, is illegal. It does not mean the whole agreement is going to be illegal. Okay, Now Ram enters into contract with Sham, okay, for supplying of 100 tons of wheat and 20 kg of weed. Now weed is banned. Okay, weed is ganja as we know it. Weed is banned. So in this case, the whole agreement is not going to be void. Whatever is performable, whatever is legal part of the agreement will stand, and whatever is the illegal part of the agreement will be void. Now, Sham is not obliged to send 20 kg of wheat, but he will definitely, Sham will be bound to supply 100 kg wheat. Okay, 100 kg wheat. He'll have to supply 100 kg wheat, but he is not bound to supply 20 kg of wheat because wheat is banned. So if you can separate the contract, then the void part is illegal part will be void and legal part will be valid. If the contract can be post-mortem, then it can be separated into different portions, legal and illegal. A promises to superintendent on behalf of B, a legal manufacturer of indigo and an illegal traffic in other articles. Okay. Now B promises to pay a salary of 20,000 per month. The agreement is void. The object of A's promise and the consideration for B's promise being in part unlawful. Okay. Now because his employment is to for an illegal traffic in the articles. Okay. Now what is his job here? His job is to legally manufacture indigo but sell it illegally. Okay, so his this part of portion legally manufacture of indigo may still be valid, but other part that is illegal traffic in articles is going to be illegal. Okay.